Good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to Ongaku to You, the podcast where three friends come together and break down what's new in the Japanese music industry. This is the podcast for the week of August 11th, 2018. I'm your host, Ken, and with me we have Gray.
What's happening, guys?
What's happening? And it's another Dos Compadre episode. Unfortunately, Luna doesn't look like she'll be able to join us again, mostly because this is a double episode, and she has some personal problems that she needs to take care
Yeah,
of, so we totally understand. So,
yeah, yeah. She's got a lot going on, but this will also be a fairly short episode, just as a heads up, uh, because just the way the scheduling fell and stuff like that. It's just we're not going to have time to do a full episode, so our apologies ahead of time.
yeah,
But
so,
at least we're here.
yeah, so if you guys notice, yeah, at least we're here. If you guys notice that it is going to be a much shorter episode than usual, mostly because of the radio podcast yesterday, we did not get a chance to really check out the Oricon stuff.
Yeah,
It was just debating a scheduling and such. So just be
yeah.
aware of that.
I did get a chance to hear the Hey Say Jump song, which is the number one song, which is that was pretty good, but because it's Hey Say Jump, it's a little hard to get a hold of. So, uh, I
That's
mean,
a little bit better than the other groups.
yeah, it's true, but not the best, unfortunately. But that's okay.
But yeah, how have you been, Gray? How'd you like hosting the podcast? I never did get to ask you about that.
uh, I was really nervous in the beginning. I think it shows in the episode, and then by the end of it, I got so excited I kind of lost my mind there for a little bit. So I apologize to anybody. I'm one of those people when I get passionate and I get excited, I it's hard for me to process things and I just kind of go off the wall. But I actually did have a blast. I loved talking about Bradio. Um, they're a band I'm really passionate about. I think that came through loud and clear, and I just want to see them grow. I want to see them grow their audience, their fan base, and if our show can help that in any manner, that's all I care about. Like having you and Luna just look at me as like, thank you for getting me into this band. That's what I want. Just like, I don't even need to think. So it's just like I'm just glad more people are excited for Bradio. So it was a fun experience, and I'm certain there'll be more times down the road that I will host. So that is just a given. But for now, I really enjoyed it. I'm kind of glad you're back in the chair. It's because I'm one of those people like I'm comfortable where I'm at, and like I said, I had a lot of fun, but I'm glad to be back just as the engineer behind the scene, behind the scenes, not really pushing the whole thing forward. So, but yeah, no, the my week was good. Uh, I had a surprisingly good week with my real estate, so I'm just hoping that something good comes of that, so that I can quit my night job, and then that'll give me more time to devote to the show and stuff because it's what we want to do. I don't think there's a person on the show that doesn't want to devote more time to it. We've in the little time that we've started the show, I think it's grown to mean a lot to all of us, and we just want to put more into it and um, help grow the show as a whole. So hopefully we can get to a place where that's possible. So I'm excited. How was your week, bud?
It was okay. I'll have something to announce at the end of the show, but we'll talk more about that later. it's been all right. I've been fairly busy with the radio stuff and future projects that we're going to be working on. So,
Yeah.
but throughout the podcast yesterday, I was laughing because I figured, oh man, Gray must be fairly nervous, so he might be drinking.
Nah.
And I was thinking throughout the episode, man, you just started with beer and then you just went to hard shots at the end of the episode because you were kind of, oh, okay, this is how the direction is gonna go towards the episode.
No, I just I was drinking water honestly the whole night. So no, I was sober during all that. It's just like I said, like when I was really nervous at first, and then when the ball got rolling, I got so excited, especially when we started talking about top fives. The like I think it was really cool because like I've noticed, especially like Utada and Scandal, there was a fair amount of overlap. There was almost no overlap. There was a little, I think like one or two songs, but for the most part, we talked about 15
And I was,
unique different songs, and uh, every one of those songs are amazing in my mind. Like I love every one of those songs that we talked about. We did not talk about a bad song last night, and I so when you would talk about something that wasn't on my top five, it's like, oh, but I love this song, it's so great, and then when Luna would say do a song that wasn't in my top five, but I love it, I'd be like, yes, 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 and it's just it was just one of those moments where it's like we got to talk about a lot of their discography, and that was a concern that I had because I was like, well, I've got my top five, but what if there's a lot of overlap? I don't want to sit here and talk about the same five songs over and over again. And I knew there wouldn't be verbatim the same. Like we're all different people. We all gravitate toward different things. But to see the variety that came out of that was really exciting to me because it allowed us to talk a lot more about various songs than we typically had in the past. So that was exciting, and it just showed. I couldn't contain it. I was like, yay! I was the kid in the candy store last night. So
yeah, I think I was the only one that didn't have any overlay, because you and Luna had one or two overlays, I believe.
I think just
I think it was the
one. Spicy Madonna I think
yeah
is the only one. My number five is her number three, and I think that was it.
yeah. So
Or did she also do
it
Sunday?
was no. I think it was Spicy Madonna.
Okay, yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, with that, what have you been listening to?
Surprisingly enough, not Bradio. uh, like the only day that I listened to Bradio was the day that we recorded the episode because I was like, oh, I need to listen to Yes one more time because I'd only listened to it once prior to recording, and I was like, I can't talk about that with any amount of clarity having only listened to it once. So I did listen to Yes once, and Luna hadn't quite listened to the album yet. So we listened to the album again yesterday pre-show, which was interesting in and of itself. Uh, but mostly this week, ever since I started with Inflow, I don't know, I've just been on this hip hop kick, sort of. And like this week, I
Yo
have
yo
been
yo kick.
pretty much this week I listened to pretty exclusively. It was Lotus Juice. From
Mm.
Monday to no, I was listening to it yesterday. I haven't listened to any Lotus Juice today, but there's I'm going to work here in a little over an hour, so there will be some Lotus Juice to be played. Like I
I
picked
was
up.
gonna say, if you take that out of context, that sounds so bad.
I do what I can. The yeah, I well, the opening of Buzz is stuck in my head, which the opening line to Buzz is Basement Nerd. And I'm like, You're one to talk. You did music for Persona. That's one of the more nerdiest franchises I can think of. But I do. I love his style and his music, and it just gets in your head. One song I can recommend because typically the language barrier is a lot for some people to get over. So the awesome thing with Lotus Juice is if you check out his Carpe Diem album, he only has two albums on um, Apple Music. It's Carpe Diem and More Juice. More Juice is the more recent album, and that is explicit. They say it's on there. That he drops a lot of f bombs. Uh, Carpe Diem actually is a little explicit, but it's not stated. So just keep that in mind. But uh, he does rap a lot in Japanese, and he did a version of "Do for Love," which is a Japanese song, clearly, but there's an English version of the rap portion of the song. There's a vocal version too. That's still in Japanese, but the rap of it is in English, so you can kind of just rap along with it. And I've been listening to that a lot. It's really good. So I definitely recommend Lotus Juice to anybody that's really looking to find like a hip hop artist that they can follow. Or if you liked any of the Persona games, you should be mildly familiar with the man's music. He does good stuff, so I'd recommend checking him out. But that's mostly what I've been listening to. What about you, Ken?
I've been listening to Passcode a lot because of the news that later on we'll talk about. Been listening to them a lot. I was listening to a lot of Alexandros also, almost because of the news, and kind of Boone. It's because I started watching Boruto, the anime Boruto, and they did the opening song for the anime series. So I was listening to a lot of them recently. Besides that, nothing too out of the ordinary in my juicy playlist.
how is uh how
You
is
know,
how is Boruto?
it's all right. Like you can tell that they try to mix in a lot of things that is specifically story and then specifically filler. Like because I've watched Naruto for a while now, I've kind of noticed what is considered story and what is considered like filler. Like I'm in the major like I guess Sasuke arc or the introduction of Sasuke to the newer readers
Yeah.
arc, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I recommend if you guys really like Naruto, you'll really like this also. So it's not really too surprising.
Yeah. I
Besides that, yeah,
I was just gonna say
go ahead.
I was a huge Naruto fan a long time ago, but I fell off right before the Ninja War really kicked in. So I've not followed it in years, and
You should at least watch the Ninja War stuff because if I'm remembering correctly, it doesn't have much filler. I
yeah,
dropped off right around spoiler alert when Neji died.
yeah, I hadn't made it there yet. I know that I know I
Yeah,
that plot point has been ruined for me for years. I'm well aware that he does not live to the end of the series, but yeah, the last thing that because I never really watched Shippuden, I just read the manga, and I dropped
yeah.
off around volume 50, which is where um the I think the Akatsuki are still a problem.
I mean, there's still a problem.
Yeah, but like the last arc I distinctly remember is when what's his face shows up on the island and they're there to kidnap Killer Bee and Naruto. That is the last distinct
Oh,
arc
okay,
I
okay.
remember. So
I see, I
the
see.
the road to the Ninja War is being built up in the background because I think the the road to the Ninja War really starts with the Gokage summit, if I'm correct. That's
Yep,
where like the
yep.
seeds for all that get planted, and then the Ninja War is something that happens afterwards. But yeah, I read up until the point where they were coming to get him, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I guess for reasons they're just going to ignore the fact that Sasuke straight murders that one dude, and he was kind of an important political figure, no matter how douchey he was. So, but oh well. When there's war, I guess we can let morals just go to the side for a bit. I hated Donzo too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, you straight up kill this guy, and there's maybe there are repercussions, but from what I've seen, there's zero, and I'm like, that's not right, man. that bothered me. It's like, oh,
Yeah, no worries. I mean, like for me, I got ruined. I dropped off the right bef right around that same area, and then I was like, oh, I'll just wait till it ends, and then I'll just watch it in one go or read it in one go. And then I was standing in a Barnes and Noble, and I remember I was overhearing a conversation, and they said it fairly loud. Oh, in English, they got to the part where Neji died, and I was like, what the hell?
Neji died. Oh man.
Yeah. And Neji's one of my favorite characters. Like, he was the only reason why I kept watching for the most part.
I really liked.
But
I know this was pre-skip, so this would be like the original series, but I really liked his fight with the spider dude in the woods
oh
in the
yeah,
Sasuke
yeah,
retrieval arc.
yeah.
Like that's a dope fight. That's such a good fight. Kishimoto knows how to script a fight. I will give that man all the props for that. He knows how to script a fight. But yeah, I've wanted to go now that it's ended. I've wanted to go back because I've got the first 50 volumes and it only ran to 70 or 72, something like that. So I'm only missing the last 22 volumes. But if I repicked it up, I'd have to start at least back at the time skip. So I'd have to read the whole
Just
back
to
half
kind
of the
of remember.
series, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, well. But yeah, let's continue on before this becomes a full-on Naruto podcast. Sorry about that.
I've said about all I can say about Naruto, so I think we're good.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's go on with the news. So, first and foremost, Asian Kung Fu Generation announced a brand new single. It's been about a year and a half since they've done so, and it's called Boys and Girls. And it will only have two songs this track around, with Gotch, the lead singer, writing the A side, and the B side will be composed by Takahiro Yamada, who's the bassist of Asian Kung Fu Generation. If you buy the limited edition copy, it'll come with their 2017 America Tour documentary.
Ew, that actually
And
sounds interesting.
yeah, that sounds really interesting. I'm probably going to pick this one up. And they also announced that they will be making a new original album by year's end. So it's really good because, like I said before, we were really worried about them because they haven't really done much
Yeah,
as of late.
yeah, they've been quiet for a while, so it's exciting to see them start to come back. Because Asian Kung Fu Generation is just one of those bands. If you were a teenager in the late 2000s and you were into anime, they mean something to you. So to
Yeah.
see them just kind of disappear like that, I was worried for the longest while. I thought they had stopped producing music as a whole because I was like, I just assumed that they were no longer together because you hadn't heard anything in so
And
long.
you know, the thing is with them, they done this before where they just stay radio silence for like about a year or two, and then they just pop up with a new interesting style. This is what I like about them. When they stop producing or they stop making music, their comeback has such an interesting and much maturer sound compared to their previous album before they went on break. And that's what I really love about them. Like if you listen to Survivor's March, that's probably one of their newer songs compared to like Riri or something like that, or
Yeah.
their remake of Riri for the Kimi no Machi Made. or Kimi no Yunai no Machi, or Erased, I think that was what it's called
Erased
in English.
is the easier name to say. Yeah.
Yeah, so what they did a redid of Riri for that anime specifically. So,
Yeah. Well, I
and it's
always thought
such
that
a
was an
different
underrated song, anyways.
tonally.
Like I've always liked
Yeah.
Riri, so when that was the opening theme for it, I really kind of lost my mind there because I was like, oh, I love this song, and it's one of their lesser known songs, but it's actually one of my favorites. It is if I was ranking them, like if we were doing like an artist spotlight, it would be number two. Like I love that song. So the fact that
I'll hold you to that.
okay, uh, it might be number one by the time we do it because of the songs that I love by them, that's the one that's grown on me the most. And like just depending on the day, it's like I do love Far and Away. That would be like my number one, but number two would be Riri. So it's like it just depends on the day. But I love that song.
I'm pretty sure by the time the new album comes out, we should be in the works of making them our next our
Y-
spotlight.
yes. And to be fair, like I have their first greatest hits. I'm not familiar with their work past their first greatest hits, and I know what was it earlier this year they released their second greatest hits thing.
Yep,
So which
yep.
is really great because I have been wanting to pick that up, dive into it, and listen to it because there's a huge chunk of their history I haven't listened to yet, and I really want to hear it. So I would love to do an artist spotlight for them. I know we just announced last night we're going to do Aisha, but yeah, we haven't had that conversation about what comes after that. But I would be all for a Asian Kung Fu Generation podcast, and I know Luna's a huge fan, so I don't think it'd take a whole lot of convincing to get her either.
Yeah, we've talked about it in the past, so it was just a matter of time of doing it or
Yeah,
planning it anyway.
yeah, it'll also
But
be a
yeah,
timing thing.
the yeah, but yeah, the new single "Boys and Girls" will be released on September 22nd or it's 26th. You can reserve it at CD Japan. You can use our site to kind of pre-order that too. So don't worry about that. Continuing on, Passcode just announced their first double A single as a major label. So their new single "Tonight and Taking You Out" will be released September 12th, and the limited edition version will also include a DVD copy of their Passcode versus 2018 event that they did in Osaka. So I really like them. They're a more interesting idol group because it's only one of their members does the screamo metal stuff, and it's just interesting to watch them live how they do it.
I've not watched any of their live music, but when I saw the article, I was like, oh, I've never really listened and checked them out, and so I listened to them, and I will say I was not a fan. I was like, I like the music and
Oh,
the
you didn't
singing, and
like
then
the
I
metal?
hear the screaming in the background. I'm like, oh god, this is giving me a headache. Like I never liked that. It's something. Every once in a blue moon, I'll find a song I can kind of look past that element, and I can enjoy the song after that. But by and large, it's
It
not a sound I genuinely
it's
like, and it gives me a headache. So I'm like, ugh.
uh, well for me because it's different compared to a lot of the other idol stuff, and
Yeah.
that's the only reason why I like them.
I mean, they reminded me a lot of Bish, so
Yeah.
which I do like Bish.
So
So, and to be fair, I will keep listening to them. It's not like I've wrote them up yet, but like what I've heard, I'm like, I don't like the screaming. Please stop. But that's okay.
but the song Ray, if you just listen to Ray, that only their screaming is only I want to say 30 seconds of the song, of a 3-4 minute song. That's
Oh, that's not
not
too
too
bad.
bad compared to other ones. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
and
only a lead up right before the chorus, so
and you know what? In 2 months, I can have a total turnaround and come back here and be like, man, I'm the biggest passcode fan that exists. You never know. Just 'cause
yeah.
there's some styles of music you have to get used to listening to in order to like them.
Yeah,
They're an acquired taste.
and
So
I understand because when I was doing the first news of their first major album, it took some getting used to, but I really did like their latest single, Ray, and I was really looking forward to that single. So I really got I really like their certain style, so I'm looking forward to Tonight and Taking You Out. So, but yeah, you can pre-order that also on our site through CD Japan. So just take a look at that. But continuing on, Kanaboon just announces a brand new album. It's their B-side compilation called KBB Volume 2, and this will be released September 19th. This album is a companion piece for KBB Volume 1, which was released in March of earlier this year. So this is to commemorate Kanaboon's 5th anniversary for their major label debut. It's not too bad. They all have 13 tracks total, with 11 tracks being their B-side track, and include one brand new song called Yoru no Mado Madobe Kara, which is a remaster of their major debut song, Shoshai Hisui no Ri Odan, which is their first major single. So I'm interested on hearing their remaster for their
yeah,
debut song.
I'm actually not familiar with
Because,
Kanaboon, but you've talked them up so much. I've been interested in them, and I just looked them up on Apple Music. They're there, so I will check
yeah,
them out.
they're owned by Sony, so yeah.
And that doesn't mean they'll be on Apple Music. This just means there's a higher probability that they might be on Apple Music. I'm still waiting on
Yeah,
Sony to
there's like a
drop the.
70% chance they'll be on there.
I'm still waiting on Sony to drop the new Little Glee Monster single. They haven't done that yet. They need to get off their butts and do it. Like, come on, people. The only way I've been able to listen to their new song is through YouTube, which is a miracle because they're really finicky on what little Glee Monster songs go up on YouTube too. So
By the
uh,
time it goes on Apple Music, they'll probably drop the PV from YouTube.
probably, probably.
So,
I
but yeah,
remember
you can
YouTube
pre-order
being
your
like
copy of
day and
KBB
date.
Volume 2 through our site and through CD Japan. Once again.
I also like the name
Oh,
Kanaboon.
go ahead,
It
Greg.
rolls off the tongue so well.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It
It's fun to
does,
say.
it does, it does. And they're more mostly known because of the Naruto song or Naruto game that came out in the West. They were playing that a lot in the GameStops when I was working there, so it's just a mild surprise when I saw Kanabun just being played throughout all the GameStops throughout the nation. So I was like, oh, it's a great way for their exposure.
Yep.
Yep, yep, yep. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk about some Bang Dream news before we continue to our last piece of news. So first and foremost, Bang Dream announces a new collaboration project with mega multimedia conglomerate Hatsune Miku, and that will start at the end of August. Once again, this collaboration will only be on the Japanese servers for Bang Dream Girls Band Party. It'll probably be released to the US or worldwide servers within the year. With this collaboration, they'll have 3 cover songs by Afterglow, Poppin' Party, and Hello Happy World, with special design arts for all 3 covers. And also, because of this collaboration, Bang Dream will take part in the Hatsune Miku Magical Mirai 2018 tour in Tokyo. So I believe a couple of the voice actresses will actually go on stage and do a collab. So it'll
How
be
how do,
very, very nice.
how do you have a concert for a girl that does not exist.
You do the 3D projection, kind of like how they do for gorillas.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, Hatsune Miku does not exist. Oh, like, Vocaloids is not really my thing anyway.
Hatsumiku lives inside all the fans' hearts, man.
Clearly, she might live in other places too, but we won't go there. Uh,
She lives in the domino box, also in Japan.
yeah, that she does.
did, did you see that, by the way? They had a collaboration with Domino's. I want to say right around the time we were in Japan. So it comes with a QR code, and when you scan that QR code with the Domino's app, she'll appear on top of the Domino's box and do a live concert, like a two song live concert on the Domino's box.
Okay, I'll admit that's pretty cool. Even though I'm not her
So
fan.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah, Hatsumiku always always surprises everyone. And don't worry, I know how to say her name. It's an inside joke between a lot of my friends and mine for
I,
Hatsumiku
I was like,
and Magical Mirai.
I figure you know how to say it because I'm like, you're the most fluent in Japanese person I know, so clearly you know the proper pronunciation of her. But yeah.
Magical Mirai. It's funny because the Mirai part is from when they did the Project Mirai in the game when they were releasing the game in GameStop, and one of the GameStop announcer people did not know how to say Mirai correctly, so they kept on saying Hatsune Miku, Project Mirai, and I was like, okay, Mariah Carey, sure, whatever, fine, we'll deal with that later.
the
So it
most
just became an inside joke
cringeworthy
between all my games.
the most cringeworthy stuff I've ever seen is like when Pokemon did the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and so you would have like all these Pokemon going down the New York Times Square, all that fun stuff, and then you'd have the reporters on NBC or CBS or whatnot, and they would have no idea how to pronounce two-thirds of the Pokemon's names. Like it got to the point where um, they could pronounce Pikachu because it's Pikachu. Other than that, it was a field day of just like, do you guys have no idea how to pronounce this stuff? Do you? Why talk about it? Uh,
But
makes
yeah,
you excited for the uh, Olympic openings. Like I wonder what names are going to get
I
butchered during
am
that.
Hatsumiku, AKB. I know those two are like the most wide options. I'm pretty sure because of the integration of NHK World that Deitch has been doing, he'll probably show up also in the opening ceremonies.
Yeah. Well, I was telling a friend of
I'm
mine
pretty sure.
that I shared with her his U video, and I was telling her like he'll probably be in the opening ceremonies. I would imagine. So
Yeah. Another couple of famous acts is Perfume might probably join up too because Perfume is fairly worldwide known now at this point.
yeah,
So,
I could see that.
but yeah, continuing on with some more Bang Dream news here. Their fifth live concert, which was performed back in March of this past year, is now going to be shown in theaters across the US and Canada. So it's in
Yes.
collaboration with Azolan Pictures, which I'm very happy. They'll be showing it in selected theaters. One of those
It's
theaters is Hawaii, so I'm very happy I'm going to finally go see them, quote unquote, live.
I will not be able to go
And
because they're not coming anywhere near North Carolina.
you said that the closest that you'll be able to go to is Georgia.
Yeah, but that's like 4 hours. I don't have that time.
Yeah,
It's a 4 hour
yeah.
drive to and fro.
So for the US, they'll be showing. they'll be showing 2 days of the concert, which is day one will be Poppin' Party and day two will be Rosalia. Poppin' Party's concert will be on September 8th for the US and September 9th for Canada. And Rosalia will be the following week at September 16th and the 17th for Canada. With the collaboration, you'll also be receiving a special card of one from each of the bands according to what day you go to. I'm pretty sure it's the Vice Schwartz cards because that also just came out, which reminds I have to do an unboxing for that fairly soon. Not, of course, on our channel. I'll do it for my personal channel.
You can do it on ours.
But yeah, I'm very
It's
excited.
tangentially
Nah,
related.
separation of church and state there.
I don't know. There's a lot of crossover already. I'm just saying.
But yeah, I'm very excited. I can't wait. I miss a lot of chimes. I miss the Anime Expo thing just because when I went to Japan. So
Yeah,
and I wanted
you're
to see
stuck in
Aino
a
Aiba.
weird place. It's like I can go to one or the other. Let me flip a coin. And the moment you flip the coin and chose, you were like, oh, why didn't I go to the other one?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun in Japan, don't get me wrong, but man, I missed a lot of good events that I could have gone to when I was in Anime Expo. So,
Yeah, Inflow would have
but
been so dope to
you,
see live.
and I'm pretty sure Luna would have killed me if I was like, oh, I didn't really get to see Crystal King. But yeah, continuing on to our last piece of news, Alexandros announces their first U.S. tour. So they've been popping up a lot recently, worldwide known. They're probably more known for their song that they're gonna be in the Bleach movie. So a lot of exposure
Yes.
from that. And they've previously toured several parts of Asia and Europe, but never really toured the US before. However, starting in October 14th, they'll be heading to 5 locations across the US: Texas, Oklahoma City, Washington, D.C., and New York. So you guys are actually more akin to go and see them compared to where I went. If they went to California, I might go and see them, but
Luna would be the best because I think Oklahoma City's not too far from where she lives.
I think it's just a drive down maybe or
Yeah.
a drive up.
But like the
Uh,
closest for me is like a 12, 13-hour drive. So
towards DC.
DC's 8. So I guess that would be the closest.
Hmm. But yeah, if you guys are interested, they're going to the Canton Hall in Dallas, Texas, the Scott Bar in Houston, Texas, the Diamond Ballroom in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, U Street Music Hall in Washington, D.C., and the Gr- Gramercy Theater in New York City, New York. So you can get your tickets at alexandros.jp. And hopefully you guys go. I really do like a lot of their music. They have a very interesting style. Mosquito Bite was a really good song, and Mata Ashta is my favorite song by them. So please look forward to them. Hopefully they can do a lot more US tours with this first successful US tour.
Well, it'd be really nice just to see more U.S. tours from various bands. Period. Because
Yeah,
there's a growing
they're
audience for
starting to
them.
grow.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that, and hopefully with this we'll get a little bit more extra fans from that.
Hopefully.
But yeah, hopefully. With that, that's the end of the news, and we'll talk about this week's Indie Corner, sone+JitteryJackel. They are a two-person EDM collaboration unit that was formed in 2016 from songwriter Sone, formerly of Atlantis Airport, and musician June Kobayashi of Oyasumi holograms and Temtem fames. I've wrote an article about Oyasumi holograms before. I did not know that was the same guy because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
just how instinctively different that style of music is. Because Oyasumi holograms, they're a fairly punk rock band, so it's a very interesting thing, a different style that he does. And Sone's powerful voice is so good. She has such a controlling vocal range with a lot of her songs, and it's only reinforced by Kobayashi's melody that and beats that he create for her. Their song Tokyo Diorama aptly shows off the extent of her vocal range, which I love. So, and
Yeah.
currently, Sonye plus Jackal has two mini albums, one released in 2016 and the second one released in 2017, with their first full-length album, Tale Teller, being released back in April of this year. You can actually go buy Tale Teller at CD Japan. You can use our site to go buy that if you guys are interested. If anything, check out the music video for Tokyo Diorama. It's something different that we've done because we haven't for me specifically, we've only done a lot of bands and rock bands and maybe
Yeah.
a little stray from R&B bands. So this is the first to do like a full-on different style of music. So hopefully you guys really like it because I want to experiment and do like EDM or not just rock bands because it's fairly easy to kind of do rock bands now, but
Yeah.
just seeing a different style of indie style for EDM and stuff like that is so exciting.
Yeah. It's really cool. I never heard of them. Checked them out, and I gotta say, I really liked Tokyo Diorama. That is a really cool song, and the music video is pretty good. And yeah, Sone's vocals are really really good. She is really talented, and is it is it Jitter Jackal or Jittery Jackal? Jittery Jackal.
Jitter, Jittery Jackal.
Yeah, his music it is interesting. It's different. It's not quite like what you're used to, but it's still a really cool sound, and the song is a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely go check them out.
And yeah, so yeah, check them out. Take a listen of their music video on our site. And if you guys are very interested, go buy their CD on CD Japan. We have the link there. I'm personally probably going to ask a friend of mine to go buy it since he's over there right now. But continuing on with some indie quarter news that I didn't get to put on the site, but last week's indie corner band Flu actually released it. They announced a brand new album. It is the 16 track song, and it only sums up into about 28 minutes or so.
Makes sense because a lot of their songs are
So
short. They're intentionally short too, so makes sense that they would have
yeah, so
a 16 track album that's only about half hour long.
yeah, so I'm really excited for this, and I really do like them. So please, if you guys are interested in Flu, which apparently a lot of you guys are because it became our number one article on the site. I don't even know how that happened. It even beat out our news and review blog. It was the number one thing on our site.
Well,
So
being retweeted
apparently you
by the
guys
band
really do
helped.
like it. Yeah, it's been really helping us out. So excuse me for one moment as I switch into Japanese here. インディーコーナーの皆さん、ソネとジタジャクルとフルーとステルの皆さん、いつもありがとうございます。これからもいろいろなバンドとかアメリカでを紹介したいので、楽しんでください。本当に本当にありがとうございます。これからもよろしくお願いいたします。 Okay, so that's for that. I just need to thank them if they ever listen to our podcast, which it seems some of them do, from what I've been looking at the site there. So at least I have to speak Japanese for them. But yeah, with that, uh, there's a couple things I need to announce personally for the site, and I guess as a podcast as a whole.
Yes.
I quit my job. so, so I am now I guess I am
You're now a
considering
freeloader.
fully onto. I am now a freeloader, and I'm putting all my effort towards the site right now. For at least for a month or so, I'm still looking for jobs. If anyone in Japan wants to give me a job, hey,
Hey.
tanoshimimasu yo.
Getting the recording
But
show there would be
yeah,
really
I'm.
difficult.
Go ahead.
I said just recording the show would be really difficult because the time difference.
Yeah, I'll just wake up first thing in the morning like I've been doing.
That's true.
But yeah, um, I'll be pretty much putting all my full work into the site. So expect a lot more articles, a lot more different things for the YouTube stuff because I've been really behind on putting up my videos. I have a couple of them in the can. It's just that I haven't had the time to go and edit everything else. I'll be focusing more so on the streaming stuff also. So if you guys are interested in looking at all the streaming stuff that I've done, it doesn't seem like the time zones that I've been doing it in have not been working. So I'm going to be doing it a bit earlier now. So if you guys are interested in that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of things here. I'm looking forward to putting all my effort into the site and for the podcast in general because it's something that I want to do for a bit. And if I don't find a job and if I end up doing this full time, I really don't mind.
Yeah. Well, I think we've
I
all talked
really
about
don't
this one
mind.
day just leaving our lives behind and just doing this full time. So we'll
But
see
yeah,
where that goes. Hopefully.
yeah, we'll see and share. But I'm looking forward to it. Please look forward to all the news articles that and reviews and things like that that we'll be doing pretty much on down the line. So hopefully you guys look forward to that. If not, yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with the site. This past couple weeks have been our best 2 weeks for the site, so I'm very thankful for that. And I think Japan has been very good to us. So
Yes. Yes, they have.
yes, so I'm looking forward to any new like bands and stuff like that. Any new things that we'll be doing for this site. But yeah, just please be patient. We're still growing as a site and everything like that, and as a podcast in general.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. But yeah, with that, you can catch us all up on Instagram and Twitter at ongaku to you, all one word. You can email us at ongakutoyou@gmail.com. Just let us know how we're doing. If you want us to change the format, if you want us to have different things, let us know how we did for our radio podcast, please. You
Yes.
can check us on iTunes and Google Podcasts, all the major podcasting places. Check out the site ongakutoyou.com where we'll be doing all of our news sources, all of our major things will be on there. And check us out on Twitch at ongakutoyou, twitch.tv/ongakutoyou. And check out our associate, Kyoryu Hunter. He is a Japanese Twitch streamer that has been doing a lot of horror games. I think he's going to be doing Metal Gear this week, so I'll be sitting in on that with him. I'm looking forward to that because Metal Gear is probably one of my favorite gaming series. If you guys want to hear me ramble on about games, you can check me out at Podosaurus, the gaming podcast that Kyoryu Hunter also does. If you want to check out his Twitch channel, it is twitch.tv/Kyoryu Hunter, KYURYOHUNTER. But yeah, that's pretty much it at my end. If you want to follow me personally at on Twitter, it's OTYKen1. If you guys have any jobs for me, you can reach me there too.
Hire me, hire me.
Hire me, please. And where can we reach you for your personal Twitter there, Gray?
You can reach me at Ongaku Gray on Twitter. I not the most vigilant on there, but I do occasionally chime out and say stuff. So please follow me there. I do have a question. Which Metal Gear is he going to be playing? I doubt it'll be 4
He's
or
playing
5.
one.
Metal
He's
Gear
playing one.
1, not Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear for like the
Solid.
NES. Solid.
No, well,
Okay.
I mean, he could technically just play Subsistence from 3, and they have a PS3 port of 1 and 2.
Yeah. Well, because I played Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've not played 5, and I haven't played the
5 is
original
great.
Metal Gear games. So Metal Gear 1 and 2, but I played all the ones in the
Metal
middle.
Gear and Metal Gear Solid is probably one of my favorite game series of all time. If I had to rank it, it is Metal Gear, then Final Fantasy, then Persona, then Bang Dream.
I I don't know how I would rank it because I know my favorite game of all time is the original Doom for PC. Uh, that game is my childhood. I play that game for fun on the hardest difficulty setting. Just like I grew up every Sunday I'd go over to my grandfather's. He had a computer, we didn't, and he had Doom, and I would play it, and I would spend the whole afternoon playing it, and that was my childhood. And then later on, we eventually did get a computer, and I got Doom, and I played it more at my house. But I didn't have to wait till every Sunday to go play it, so like I could just play it at home. So Doom has just been one of those games where it's like I love it, and the gameplay reveal yesterday has got me pumped for the next sequel. So
Yeah, so look forward to any future projects that we'll be doing. If anything, we'll be announcing it on the podcast first and putting it on the site later on. But yeah, I want to thank you guys very much for listening to this episode of Ongaku to You. I know it's was fairly short this time around, mostly because we didn't
not
do the
really,
Oricon. But
not really. We're at 52 minutes and 40 some odd seconds.
eh, pretty
So
average then.
yeah, we just did do the
But
Oricon,
yeah,
but it's just standard episode length, so all's good.
but yeah, we're looking forward to any future developments for the site and for the podcast as a whole. But yeah, I am your host, Ken, saying thank you very much for listening to this episode of Ongaku to You, and please hire me, and mahalos.
And this is Gray signing out. You guys have a good week.